In this video, we're going to go over the Css Box Model. Now, this is a very important subject in CSS. And this is what you use to style many of your elements in CSS. Now, there are 4 CSS Box Model, and this is the content, the padding, the border, and the margin. Now, as for the content is visible. It's something we have been doing. For the padding is invisible. We need to apply it to be able to see it. Same goes to the border. It's invincible. We need to apply it to be able to see it. And also for the margin, we need to apply the margin to be able to see it. So now, as for the content, let me show you the content. This is a content. Everything, let me make this clear here. Everything, every element in our web page is considered a box. You should know that. The H1, let's go to our index.html. This H1 has a box around this. The H2 has a box around it, and the H1 up here also has a box around it. Okay. This H1 has a box around it. The H2 has a box around it. They all have the box model. They have this padding, border and margin and all that. They all have box. Now, this for the content box that we are talking about now. Want to talk about now. So let's go to this. Is considered a box. Now, let me just, you can see all this text here. It might be funny, but this is actually a box. Okay, everything in here is a box. Now, I want to make you guys understand how this works. Okay, how the content works. To make this content box visible, let's go to our styles.css now. To make this content box visible, go over to our styles.css. Now, for the big para, we did in our last video, let's come over here now. Let's give it a background color. Let's give it a background color. And the background color, we are going to give it a background color. I have this color. Let me just paste it. We're going to give it a background color of cornflower blue. Okay. Now let's refresh this on our web page, so you get what I'm talking about. Now you can see. Now can you see that now? It's more like a box. Now you can see it's more like a box now. But if you notice, you will see that the text is too close to the top here. The text is too close to the top of the background color, so want to give a space there. And this is where we use let me pop this up here real quick. This is where we use the padding. Okay, to create that space there, this is where we use the padding. Now this is the padding box. Now you can see you say padding, use the padding property. I'm sorry. And this padding, let's just give it a 20 pixels. We are using the pixels now, so padding of 20 pixels. Now, if we refresh this now, let's refresh this. Here we go. Now you can see that space. You can see that space between the text and the top of the box. Now, can you see the box now we are talking about? Everything in our element, we can still make a box for this one. We can still make a box for this one. So everything is literally a box. Okay, they have that box model around them. You just need to call them to be able to see them. Okay, so see, this is the space, this is the padding. You can see this is the padding. Now the other one now is the border. The border, let's give it, and we have done this before. You already know the border, so you say border. Say border. Let's say border 1 pixels solid. Let's give this a solid of black. Let's give it a solid black. Now let's refresh this. Now you see, and now you can see our line above the background color of our image. I'm sorry, not image. Forgive me. The background color of this text. Now you can see the line. Now let's just make this line a little bit bold. Let's give it let's give it a 2 pixels so you can see the line very well. So we'll say 2 pixels. Now you see Now you see, let's refresh this. Now you can see the box very well. Now you can see, so this is the for the padding. So this is the padding. You can see this space between the text and the border. As for the border, this is the border here, this line above. So this is the border, and as for the this one over here, as for the content, so everything inside here is the content. Everything inside this box is the content. As for the padding, this space here is the padding, and as for the border is the line above it. So this is the CSS box model, and I know we haven't talked about this margin. Now let's discuss about this margin here. Now for the margin, now this is what we call the margin in CSS. You can see this line and this space here, this space between the box and the browser screen. You can see. Now you might be asking yourself, since this is the margin we are talking about, this space over here, you might be asking yourself, since we haven't given a margin, so why is there space here? Now the reason for that is the browser automatically gives a margin between our elements in our web page. So you can see the margin is not only here, you can see over here we also have margin. So the browser automatically gives a margin between our elements and the browser. You can see the margin here. So this is about 10 or 15 pixels of margin. So the browser automatically gives us a margin on our web page. Now we can still add margins. You can still shift this more, and we'll discuss that in the next video. So as for this video, that is it for the CSS box model. But in the next video, we're going to be discussing more on the margin CSS property. Yeah guys, so that will be it for this video guys. I will see you guys in the next video.